The MVPower Pro condenser microphone set. Can you really get a professional microphone setup for £20? The MVPower Pro is a large diaphragm condenser microphone, suspension scissor arm and pop shield, all for £20.99 from Amazon. The microphone that comes with the set is called the BM800. It is a large diaphragm condenser with a cardioid pickup pattern. Now all that means is that really it should be very, very good for voices, especially in a broadcast setup. So we're talking voiceovers, podcasts and streamers. Anyone in that studio environment, this should be the perfect microphone for that setup. The suspension arm and the pop shield that comes with it is also in line with that studio environment. It offers several stages of articulation and shock mounting and also attaches to any kind of table or studio flat surface, allowing you to get a microphone into the perfect voiceover position. So with that, let's look at the good bits of the MVPower Pro condenser microphone set. So there's not a huge amount of good things to say about this, unfortunately. But before I drag out the bad list and show you the audio tests, I'm gonna do my best. And really, the kit itself, if you exclude the microphone from that, the kit and the accessories you get with it is actually quite good for £20. You have a perfectly functioning scissor arm and a really good pop shield. And if you look around on Amazon or any online retailer for a scissor arm, suspension mount and pop shield, £20 is actually really good for that. I suppose as well, when we look at price, we've got to look at the accessibility, and as an entry point to a professional microphone setup, it's actually quite good. If you're looking to dabble for your first time in some kind of professional setup for podcasting, streaming or voiceovers, this is a entry point in which you can make it, but not necessarily the best one. So with that, let's look at the bad points of the MVPower Pro condenser microphone. And first up, it's the noise. It is so noisy. In fact, when we first did the testing, I had to try 3 or 4 different XLR cables, a bunch of different audio recorders, mic preamps, just to make sure that it wasn't something else making that noise. I'm not entirely sure if we've got a dud unit, because the signal to noise ratio on this is horrific. There's a constant interference, almost like a bad earthing. Now, yes, it could just be a faulty unit, but we can only talk about the one we've got in hand, and the one that we do have in hand is unusably noisy. The build quality, it is always the first thing you notice when you get anything, and the build quality of the microphone and all the accessories is horribly cheap. It is an all metal construction, but that isn't necessarily a good thing. It feels like cheap metal. The machining of everything is just nasty in hand. It generally doesn't feel like it's going to stand the test of any kind of time, even if you're incredibly careful with all of the joints and the articulations. So before I talk about audio quality, it absolutely makes sense to show you what it sounds like now. So we're going to get this all set up. We're then going to switch over to the MVPower condenser microphone and let you decide what it sounds like. So we've got the MVPower microphone set up, ready to go. We're going to switch over to the audio from it now. This is it, the MVPower condenser microphone. Can £20 really buy you professional quality audio? No, I don't think so. This is what it sounds like if I'm sitting a kind of natural distance away from the microphone. If I'm going to get really radio with it, really broadcast, I'd come in really close and you'd hear my voice a little bit closer, probably a little bit clearer. But listen to the tone of it, that tone difference that we had before. You can hear that this microphone just sounds, well, cheap in my experience anyway. What do you think? What do you think of that kind of general noisiness of it? What do you think of the tone of my voice? Is this something that you could put up with? I mean, bear in mind, this does only cost £20, so you're probably getting £20 worth of quality, but generally, what do you think this sounds like to you? Alright, so let's just go quickly back to the main microphone so you can hear how I'm supposed to sound, and then we'll come back to this one. And I want you to really pay attention to the sound. So let's switch back now. So we're back with the main microphones again. You're just wanting to listen to the tone of my voice, the background noise, really paying attention to that difference. Can you notice the difference? And with that price point in mind, is it that much worse that it would really bother you if you only have a low budget for a microphone? I'm going to go back to the MVPower one more time and listen to that difference. So now we're back with the MVPower condenser microphone again. Just really pay attention to the noise and the general tone of my voice. As I move closer to the microphone, the noise should die out, but how is the tone as I move further away? just pay attention to how it's sounding to you, you can really, in my opinion anyway, hear the difference in quality from a £20 microphone to one that costs around £500. So with that, let's go back to the main microphones and finish the review. Now I'll let you come to your own conclusions of what you thought that sounded like, but to me, it has a horrible tone. Now let's ignore the noise for now because we've already talked about that as a bad point, but just that general EQ of the microphone, it's very unflattering. It's supposed to be a large diaphragm condenser, which means it should be perfect for the human voice, but it's not. There's a really harsh top end. There seems to be no bass present at all, almost as if a high pass filter is on the thing. And it's just a very harsh, sibilant sounding microphone. Not very flattering, not very pretty, and almost unusably cheap in how it sounds. So all in all, it sounds like a £20 microphone, and in this instance, that's not a good thing. So really, this microphone is a case of buy cheap, buy twice. It is supposed to be the centerpiece of this set, and it is the thing that lets down the set as a whole. The accessories in themselves are actually perfectly usable and okay, and for £20 represent a bargain. So in many ways, I would recommend that MVPower get rid of the microphone and just sell the set without it, or buy the set and consign this to the props bin. So if you're in the market for a budget microphone for podcasting, voiceovers or streaming or anything in a studio environment, I would definitely give the MVPower a miss. Hold on to your money, save up a little bit longer until you can afford something at least a little bit better than this microphone. That's been my grab and go review of the MVPower Pro Condenser microphone set. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.